All right, guys, welcome. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to today's live stream. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is doing okay today. Not even okay, really, really well. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing amazing. And I hope that your weekend has been great so far. So many of you have requested the killer dad Watts prison bride. Anytime that Nancy Grace puts something out, I wanna see it, right? Because, you know, she does have a lot of experience with certain things, but I will say that I don't think the woman knows anything about the Chris Watts case, right? Just as many other attorneys and lawyers that talk about the case, they don't really know that much about it, don't they? They really only know the main things, right? That, oh, he's a family annihilator, he murdered his family, but they don't really know all of the details of the case. So I do want to watch it and I want to see what she says. And I want to, yeah, there's so many other things. Now, I will say I haven't actually watched the video myself, so we're going to be watching it together. But I did see some craziness. And every time that Nancy Grace has somebody like a guest on her show, they're also not really all that knowledgeable. But anyway, let's go ahead and see. Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing in the chat Nancy Grace is the worst kind of grifter. See, yeah. So we're going to see what is being said. And let's see if there's some things that stand out to us, whether or not she actually has her facts straight or not. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this.
Killer dad Chris Watts murders his pregnant wife Shanann and their unborn baby boy Nico and both of his little girls Bella and Celeste tonight. Bombshell. Chris Watts' secret prison bride.
Okay, so the way it's starting already, right? It's already so insane. It is so intense already. Oh my God, the secret bride. Yeah, her name is Lizzie Twats, right? The thing is, Lizzie Twats has been around for about a year now, right? Since 2025. We're just now hearing about it a lot more in the news because they filed to get married. Really, that's really the only reason. Let's go ahead and continue.
Who is marrying family annihilator Chris Watts? And to just top it off, steamy makeout sessions behind bars with witnesses.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's already starting, right? The thing is, we've only watched what? Like 36 seconds. We've only seen 36 seconds and it is already super crazy. It is so sensationalized the way that she's doing this, right? Elizabeth Watts. Oh my God. Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to this secret bride, right? Oh my goodness.
Ew. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Oh my goodness. All right, here, let's go ahead and just fast forward through all of this.
I did nothing to them, and to my beautiful wife, I did nothing to her.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't think anything like that could happen. I don't think I would ever do it, but I did. I put my hands around my wife's neck.
Oh God.
I looked at her and I got on top of her and
How do you know she almost dead?
I didn't find out she was disappeared. Like,
No
she had gone
way.
missing until like he was being investigated. I remember I was doing a haircut at the like when it came on the radio. The radio we were listening to at work, and
What? What? She's on this too? Oh, come on. Amanda McMahon is on this? Ugh. What is she doing here? Amanda McMahon, she is not reliable. Okay, I don't believe a single word that this lady is saying. I don't believe her. She is such a liar. What do you guys think? Do any of you believe that Amanda McMahon was involved with Chris Watts? I don't. I don't. Not at all. She worked with Nicole Atkinson, and Nicole Atkinson has said that she is one of the worst employees that she's ever seen. She was always late. She's definitely not employee of the month, not even employee of the hour.
they had said something about like husband of Shannon, and they said Chris Watt. And I was like, that sounds so familiar, but I didn't think anything of it. And then I was scrolling through their Facebook, and I saw like a little article, like I recognized his face. I can't put the two together.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her. Look at her face. Come on, I don't believe this lady at all. Even the way she talks, she's clearly lying, in my opinion. I mean, look at her. She's like, I don't know. He sounded kind of familiar. I think his name is Chris. Is it Chris Warts or is it Chris Twats? Something like that, right? I think I met him. I'm not really sure where. I think it was at the Chick-fil-A, maybe Burger King. I'm not really sure. Oh, come on. I don't believe this lady at all. But look, they already have her on.
I'm like, and that's like kind of just, it kind of kicked off from there. I felt horrible, horrible for her and those little girls. Like that was initially, just devastated on us. If he had the capacity to do that to his own family, like I'm just, some chick he messed with. I hate the things that I.
Oh, please. If he has the capacity to do that to his own children and his family, I mean, I'm just sitting chick that he's hanging out with. Ugh. This is so annoying, you guys. I can't stand this narrative that they're trying to, portray here, right? They're trying to get the story out as Chris just being some psycho killer who just goes around murdering random women. No, the reason that Chris murdered his family was so that he can be with Nicole Kessinger, right? That's why he murdered his family. He didn't murder them because he's just some, Yeah, of course he's psycho, right? Like, of course he is. We're not taking away the fact that Chris is crazy, but the reason that he murdered his family is not because he's crazy. It's because of Nicole Kessinger. He wanted to be with her. He was so desperate to start a new life with another woman that's why he got rid of his family, because his family got in the way of his new life. Chris didn't just go around meeting people on Tinder and started murdering them. This is so ridiculous. Come on. He's not some type of serial killer. He's just a lustful family annihilator.
Let him do to me. I hate the things that I put up with from him. I hate the things that, if getting away with what he was doing to me would gave him a little bit more confidence to, treat the next one worse.
Oh, come on. No. She has the same greasy complexion as NK. I do see some similarities between her and NK, and it's just the way that she talks, and then she stops a sentence and she goes, I mean, he was treating me a different way, and I think I met him at the Chick-fil-A, maybe. I don't know, the one on the corner. I see a lot of similarities just in the way that she lies. But other than that, she's lying.
That is one of Killer Dad, Chris Watts' many, many mistresses. That was Amanda McMahon speaking to our friends at Daily Mail.
Okay. Nancy is already so wrong. She is so wrong. McMahon is not one of Chris's mistresses. Lady, get your facts straight. Does she not have a whole team? This is what I can't stand about this, is that Nancy Grace is not an independent content creator. She has an entire team behind her. She can easily get any of them to fact check this, but she isn't, right? That's the thing about this. There's an entire group of people that can easily just Google it and find out, oh, Amanda McMahon is a liar, right? She's a huge grifter. But no, she is. I guess she's pushing this narrative that Chris Watts had a ton of different mistresses and even some misters, right? Which I do believe to an extent, but I don't believe that he had all of these, side pieces. Come on. You guys, this is so unbelievable. Nancy shows this girl but doesn't show NK. Exactly. How are we going to talk about Amanda McMahon, but we're not going to talk about Nicole Kessinger? You guys, something interesting is happening. Now, I can't prove it, but it's very interesting that a lot of these narratives that are coming out are trying to take the attention away from Nicole Kessinger. Have you guys noticed that? Isn't that kind of weird? That everything coming out is all about, Chris had all these other mistresses and Nicole Kessinger wasn't the only one. Interesting, right? Very interesting. As we're getting closer to having a new DA in Weld County, all of a sudden, all of these grifters are coming out of the woodwork. All of them are saying, oh yeah, Chris had other mistresses. No, he didn't. It was only Nicole Kessinger. Oh my goodness. What do we think, guys? Is this some type of, what is it? I really don't know. Is there some I don't know, group of people behind this? they're trying to change the narrative. They're trying to get attention away from Nicole Kessinger. What is this? Again, I'm not trying to right. I'm not some crazy conspiracy theorist, or who knows, maybe I am. Should I start wearing the tinfoil on my head? But I find it interesting. I really do. I find it interesting that everyone, all of a sudden, they're like, oh yeah, let's not even focus on Nicole Kessinger. Let's focus on this lady. What do you guys think? Yeah, taking away attention from the only mistress. Exactly. Isn't that super sketchy? I think it's sketchy as hell. That's weird. That's weird. All right, guys. Anyway, let's continue.
Now, whoa, whoa. Don't get confused because that is not the prison bride. Joining us in an all-star panel, the phenomena of who would move their whole family across the country to be closer to a convicted killer, much less a convicted 3-time killer.
4-time killer, if we're going to count Nico.
Straight out to Ruth Bashinsky joining us, investigative crime reporter, Daily Mail, who broke the story. Ruth, who is the mysterious Lizzie?
She sure is mysterious, Nancy. So her name is Lizzie Henderson, and what we know about her is that she's a 39-year-old realtor. She was living in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh my, she looks rough. Holy moly.
Just doing multiple jobs, and she basically was in a lot of, different relationships with, it seemed like, older men. Nothing seemed to ever, she never got married. She was pretty much living a single life, and we don't really know how she met Chris, but they've been together for, we could say, with certainty, since 2024.
Since 2024? How can she deal with this man for what, 3 years, 2 years? That is crazy. Imagine talking to Chris for 2 years. What is he gonna say? Other than, I like sports. My favorite team are the Steelers. Have you ever heard of them? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I used to be a mechanic, but I'm not a mechanic no more. My wrists hurt. Can you kiss them for me? What else is this man gonna say? She looks sick. This is nuts, you guys. This lady, poor woman, I really do think that she has some type of mental health issue going on. There's no way. I mean, she can't want this much attention.
And she basically picked up and moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Racine, Wisconsin, to be closer to the prison where he is going to be in for the rest of his life.
I wonder how that
Ugh.
works.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. I've got a question for the New York control room. Why is it every time we cover Chris Watts, you insist on showing him without a shirt? Nobody.
Wow. I will say Nancy will sometimes make me laugh, right? Um she sometimes makes me laugh. I do agree. I do agree, right? They're showing him with his shirt off constantly on her show. Even though she said, "Can you please stop? I hate seeing him without his shirt on." They just keep showing it.
Nobody cares. Yes, that. Take it down. Now, I wait. Let's just have a little refresher about who is Chris Watts, who apparently is having steamy makeout sessions behind bars with his new prison bride who moved across the country to be with him.
Well, she didn't move across the country. She moved what, one state over, right? It's only like 1 or 2 states over. So she didn't move across the country. She moved from Ohio to Wisconsin, so pretty close by.
Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. What happened to Shanann, Nico, Bella, and Celeste?
Chris Watts
Oh my God.
strangled Shanann, who was pregnant with their son Nico. After strangling her, Chris Watts suffocated his little girls, Bella, who was only 4, and Cece, who was 3. Then,
Mm.
after suffocating these,
Well, at least they got their ages right. Sometimes they can't even get the age right. See, this is again, I talk about these creators, I would say, Nancy Grace being one of them, very mainstream, because they don't really know too much about the case. They they even get the ages wrong, which is so crazy. Like, come on.
precious children, he shoved them through an 8-inch hole into a crude oil container where he worked,
Hmm.
leaving marks on their
Hmm.
little heads from shoving them through the holes in.
Look at how Ugh. Look at this hole. It's not even deep. Wow. How much time did it take him to do this? How long did it take him to dig this hole, do you guys think? It is very shallow. Look at how shallow it is. What, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour? How long do we think it took him?
Into those crude oil containers, and he buried Shanann in a shallow grave. That's what Chris Watts did.
Wow. Ugh.
Sweet did it again. I
Ew.
like that shirt. Really?
Really?
Oh, really? Wow. Was he already talking to Nicole Kessinger? When he found out that Shanann was pregnant, do you guys think he was talking to Nicole Kessinger already? I do. He was already talking to Nicole Kessinger. That is why his reaction was what we just saw. He was not happy. If anything, I think that he thought he had just gotten caught. What do you guys think? I think that when Chris walked in this day and he stopped and he's like, what is that? I think it's because he thought he had gotten caught. I think that he walked in and saw Shanann standing there because he really thought that Shanann was going to start ripping him a new one because he was already talking to Nicole Kessinger at work. What do you guys think? Yeah, you know what? That's going to be our first question of the day. Let's go ahead and watch this, and then I'm going to ask you guys. Do we think that the reason that he stopped right dead in his tracks is because he thought he had gotten caught because he was already talking to somebody else at work? Boom. Look at how long it takes him to process. He stops and he's like, what does that say? I don't really know how to read. But it took him a little while to realize, oh, okay, she's just pregnant. And that's why I see that weird reaction where he's like, oh, really? Yeah, it's because he thought he had gotten caught. But anyway, all right, guys, what do you guys think? The videos where he couldn't understand that pink just meant, yeah, exactly. Goodness. All right, what do you guys think? Does Chris's reaction... Okay, actually, you know what? The question's going to be something else. Why do you think he stopped in his tracks? Because I don't know. To me, I see a lot of guilt in his face right here. That is guilt and worry. What do you guys think? He's already talking to NK, right? And so because of it, he stopped. What is the other one? He doesn't know how to read, right? So it took him a little while, maybe. You know, it's possible. He brought home NK's crabs. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that one. All right, and then what's the other one? You know what? Let's go ahead and add in all the above. All of the above for everybody who wants to, who thinks that maybe there's just a bunch of other reasons. All right, all of the above. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start this poll. You can tell he's a creep from the transition lenses. All right, guys. Why do you think he stopped dead in his tracks? He's already talking to NK. He doesn't know how to read. He brought home NK's crabs, or all the above. What do you guys think? Wow. He's such a, oh God, he's such an unbelievable bastard. I can't stand him. Oh my God. Imagine doing this to your pregnant wife. This man has no morals whatsoever. He's so disgusting. Agree. I'm already interested in NK, and F, she's pregnant. Yep. Right. Exactly. Yep. He looks like he had a clam for afternoon snack. Oh, gross. Ugh. Right, a panic. I see him panicking. Yeah, for sure the crabs. Yeah. What type of crab, right? Oh my god. At least make it be the hot boil, right? The crab boil? The hot boil. Yeah, crab boil at least. All right, guys. You guys continue voting and let's continue.
We did it again. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
So pink means...
That's just a test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just a test.
That's awesome.
What a stupid. Oh, God, he's so dumb. So pink means it's gonna be girls? It's just the test, Chris. I know, but does it mean it's gonna be girls? Yeah, he's already. See, the thing is, he's already hating the fact that it might be a girl, right? One, I think that he's regretting that Shanann is pregnant because he's already talking to Nicole Kessinger. But the other thing is that he's like, oh shit, if she's pregnant, is it gonna be a girl again? What an asshole. You know, if you're having a baby, just be happy that your baby is healthy. Oh my God. But look, he's already kind of annoyed. He's like, oh, if it's pink, it's because it's a girl. What an idiot.
Awesome. So pink means...
That's just a test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just a test.
That's awesome.
No, idiot. When the line comes across the EPT, that means you're pregnant. The fact that the line is pink does not mean it's a girl. Out of all the women you cheated on Shanann with, and by the way, Dave Mack, it's not Shanann, it's Shanann. With all the women you cheated on Shanann with, you should know about pregnancy tests. That's Shanann.
Wow. I just had to hear what she said. Holy. Yeah, idiot. Right? Everyone thinks Chris is an idiot. Apparently, except for his family, right? His family and maybe Lizzie Twats and some of the twatters. But other than that, everyone knows that Chris is such an idiot. Goodness.
She had on an Oops, We Did It Again t-shirt. And he comes out and goes, really? Well, he went on to murder her, their unborn son, Nico. And that wasn't enough. His whole family, including the two little girls. And speaking of, listen to Bella.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong. He helped me not go too. He reads me books. He ties my shoes. If you're a hero, blue and blue, my daddy, I love you.
Bella
Oh
and
my
Celeste
God.
were horribly murdered, and they were stuffed into cylindrical oil containers about that big, about 11 or 12 inches wide. To Dr. Kendall Crowns joining us, Chief Medical Examiner, Tarrant County, Fort Worth, star of Mayhem in the Morgue. He is
Okay, here we go. So she's bringing in an expert, right? A supposed expert. So let's go ahead and listen to what this guy has to say about the girls being stuffed into the oil tanks. Now, every time that Nancy Grace talks about this, they always have to bring up the same videos, the same thing over and over again, to remind the viewers of the case. But we already know it, right? We know it like the back of our hand. So let's go ahead and keep watching.
an esteemed lecturer at the Burnett School of Medicine at TCU and has performed literally thousands of medical autopsies. Dr. Kendall Crowns, explain how the two little girls, Bella and Celeste, we were just watching, were de-sleeved. And what does that mean?
So de-sleeved is basically when you begin to decompose, your skin surface begins to come off. The bonds between the epidermis and dermis start breaking down, and your outer skin surface comes off.
Okay. I already know where this is going. Oh, man. See, they talk about this every time, don't they? I feel like every time that Nancy Grace talks about this case, they have to bring in how gruesome it is, right? Especially with the girls. See, we already know how bad it is because Goodness gracious. I mean, these are 2 little girls that were stuffed into oil tanks, but they always have to talk about how they looked when they were pulled out. Like, why? Why? I mean, I understand it's very important, right? It's important to understand the autopsy report, but my god, do they have to talk about it every single time?
Now, the older girl, I believe her name was Bella, she also had abrasions on her body from being shoved through the opening of the oil drum, causing abrasions on her chest and back and buttocks as well. And also, if you look at her autopsy report, she probably struggled because there's injuries to her frenula, her gum
Mhm.
line from
Mhm.
being smothered. And then she also has the oil in her stomach, so I think she was possibly alive and gulping in the oil after she was shoved into the oil drum.
What? What do you She was probably alive and gulping in oil? This is so ridiculous. This is by far the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I mean, come on. She wasn't alive. If the autopsy report shows that she didn't have any oil in her lungs, that means that she wasn't alive. Because in order for you to if you're alive and you get dumped somewhere in anything really, whether it's a liquid or sand or dirt or something, if you're struggling to breathe, you're going to inhale it and it's going to go straight to your lungs. So none of this oil was found in Bella's lungs, which indicates that she wasn't alive because she wasn't breathing. When you breathe, you inhale it and it goes straight to your lungs. Every time that you breathe in and you breathe out, your lungs expand, right? They expand. And so, yeah, having no oil in her lungs means that she wasn't alive. Yet this guy is now saying that she's possibly alive. And so she got thrown into the oil tanks and started gulping in oil. How is that possible if she didn't have oil in her lungs? Come on. Never heard of stomach oil was alive. It wasn't in lungs. Exactly, Scott, exactly. See, the thing is you can still get oil in your lung or sorry, in your stomach if you're not alive, right? Because once, when you're being submerged into liquid or oil in this case, if you're submerged, you start to decompose. Yeah, the oil could very well get into the stomach. But again, it's not going to get into the lungs unless it's inhaled. And so there is no evidence that the girls were alive. Bella was not alive. This is so ridiculous. Sensationalism. Yeah, exactly. It's just, come on. This is so beyond disrespectful to be saying all this stupid shit because, again, there is no evidence that they were alive.
She was possibly alive and gulping in the oil after she was shoved into the oil drum.
Put up Dr. Crowns, please. Hold on, I'm processing what you just said because
And then he says it with such a straight face, not even knowing who Bella was. He earlier just said, he's like, "Oh, the older one, I think it's Bella." Guy, come on.
I've heard about the skin coming off the little girl's arms being de-sleeved. That I just checked on my notes, and that container was only about 8 inches that he shoved their bodies into. But I had not heard
Oh, come on.
that the girls had oil in their stomach. What?
Well, no, the girls didn't have oil in their stomach. Only Bella did, right? Only Bella. Bella's the only one who had oil in her stomach.
So it's the older one. Bella has oil in her. Let me see what the autopsy report exactly says, but she has oil in her stomach contents. And she also, on her toxicology, showed hydrocarbons and oxygenated volatiles, which would be associated with the oil drum itself. So to me, it looks like she could have been alive. Like he smothered her. There's bruising on the frenula and on the gum line, but she was passed out, and then he shoves her through the oil drum, causing the abrasions on her body. And then she may have woken up once in the oil drum and then drowned essentially in oil. Uh,
What?
because you shouldn't have a positive toxicology result if you were dead, because it wouldn't be able to circulate into your body. And also, when you compare the two, Bella to Celeste, the younger child, Celeste, does not have any oil in her stomach. So she's probably dead when she goes in, whereas the older child who obviously fought back because she's bit her cheek, she's got damage of her frenulum and gum line, she possibly was still alive when she was put into the oil drum.
Franz Borghardt.
No, she wasn't. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Why is he saying such stupid things? Oh, okay. She was possibly dumped into the oil tank and then she was just passed out and then she woke up. What? So what? She just didn't breathe in the oil, so she just started gulping it. This is so insane. This is so absolutely ridiculous.
Criminal defense attorney, founder of Borghardt.
Yeah, he is. He's a hack. Who is this guy? He has no idea what he's saying. On top of that, he had to first look at the autopsy report. He's like, hold on, let me double check. I want to make sure that what I'm saying is somewhat accurate. Probably not even close. Okay, who was it? Oh yeah, the older one. Yeah, what's the older one's name? It says here Bella. I mean, the guy doesn't even know anything. How is he an expert in this? Come on. This is so crazy. I don't think she woke up. Of course not. No. None of the evidence points to her waking up. If she had oil in her lungs, then yes. Yes. If she had oil in her lungs and the autopsy report showed that, then yes, we could say that she may have been alive because she has oil in her lungs.
Law firm. Why should he get a prison bride and steamy makeout sessions?
I don't think he can. Wisconsin is a non-conjugal visit state, Nancy. So
well, guess what? He has. It's happening.
I'm telling you, they're not supposed to.
It's
let
already
that
happened.
Yeah.
Nanny, boo boo. Don't do that again. It's already happened. How is it happening?
So Nancy, even though he's incarcerated.
Very true, right? So this one I do agree with. Yeah, we do know that Wisconsin doesn't allow any conjugal visits, but it's already happening. I mean, Chris and Lizzie Twats are already all over each other, right? They're touching, they're sucking faces. How is it possible, right? If it's non-conjugal, then why are they allowed to touch each other?
Incarcerated for the rest of his life, he still enjoys the same constitutional rights that we do. That includes the right to have visitors, the right to be married.
Nuts.
As sick and as disgusting as he may be.
Put him up.
But why?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Constitution, the pocket Constitution I carry with me. I don't see anything in here about a 3-time, some would argue 4-time convicted killer having a right to conjugal visits. The Constitution does not have the word conjugal in it. In one place, would you like to tell everybody what conjugal means?
Conjugal means intimacy.
Intimacy. Okay, what? Look around. Are you in pre-K? No. Conjugal visits means visits. Like Jorn Vandersloot has with all the women that come to see him. I believe he's fathered 2 children since he was behind bars. That's what conjugal visits mean. Oh, dear. Take him down.
What?
The sight of him makes me ill.
Oh my God. How is this possible? This is, again, a travesty. This is a miscarriage of justice. The fact that these people are allowed to marry after they have annihilated people, right? After they have annihilated their families and caused harm. There is no way. How is this possible? Right to marry thanks to the Supreme Court. Oh, what the? Why? This is so unbelievable.
Nancy,
that's what a conjugal visit is. And I don't see anywhere where the founding fathers said, yeah, convicted killers have a right to get it on.
But he hasn't had conjugal visits. Is there an allegation that he's had with this woman? I don't think there is.
Yes, there is.
Blowing off. Dave Mack, can you please help Franz Borghardt? It's already happened. There are witnesses that saw the steamy makeout session behind bars on visiting day.
Exactly. See, I do agree with this. See, the thing is, yeah, Nancy Grace might not have all of her facts straight, and yes, she's sensationalizing, but I do like that she is pushing back, right? Because it's already happening. Yeah, the guy is saying, oh yeah, there's no such thing as conjugal visits in Wisconsin. Yeah, but it's already happening. Why is he allowed to touch this woman? Why is he allowed to suck her face? This should not be allowed. If there is no conjugal visitations, then they shouldn't even be allowed to touch pinkies. Not even like a fur, right? Not even a single strand of hair should be they should make contact. Nothing. Yet they're over here touching and grabbing each other and sucking faces for who knows how long. How is this possible? Why are they allowing him to do this?
Nancy, in Wisconsin, in this prison, each inmate is allowed 8 to 10 seconds of physical contact with their visitor when the person arrives and when they leave. But for anybody who's familiar with how the prison system works and are witnesses in there that saw the makeout session, it can go much longer than the 8 to 10 seconds. Once you allow touching, it goes as far as they can possibly take it. And that's what apparently is happening. Guards just turn the other way.
To Ruth Baczynski joining us, investigative crime reporter.
Oh my God! Why? I can't stand this. Oh, you guys, I can't. I cannot. And I didn't bring my wine with me, so I have to deal with this. Ugh. Did you guys bring your wine? I hope you guys have wine with you all. That or your Xanax or something. Whatever calms your nerves. Ugh. What in the world? What are you guys saying? All right, Ted Bundy got his girlfriend pregnant while in prison. Yeah, he had no legal conjugal visits. It happens. Exactly. It does happen. And in this case, they're allowing it to happen because Chris is allowed to touch this woman. And they're just turning the other cheek. They're like, okay, you have 10 seconds. All right, well, now it's 15. Okay, let me just turn my face. It's been 30 seconds. Oh, you guys are still going at it? All right, I'll give you another 30 seconds. Come on. Oh, yes, planning on beer later. Oh, that sounds really good, Anna. Oh, goodness. Unbelievable.
Reporter at Daily Mail who broke this story. There are steamy makeout sessions going down. I don't know who this woman is, but before I get to who is Mysterious Lizzie, what can you refresh Franz Borchardt's recollection? In other words, talk some sense into him. It's happening. It's not supposed to happen. It's already happened.
Right.
Nancy is right, Franz. It is happening. Apparently they did get married somehow. We attempted to get those records, and what we were getting some pushback from, I guess, the officials in Wisconsin, because unless I was next of kin, they wouldn't release any information about what officially went down with Lizzie Henderson and Chris Watts. But what we know is that she was wearing a wedding band, a wedding ring. She legally changed her name to Lizzie Watts, and it seems crazy. I mean, I'm sitting here, and this whole story is bizarre. I think we're all wondering the same thing. Why would she want to be with someone who is an absolute psychopath?
Well, because she's crazy. She's also a psychopath, evidently. Oh my God. Yeah, everyone has the same question. Why would she want to be with a psychopath? It's probably because she has health issues in her brain. Either that or she just wants attention, right? I know we've asked this before. Is it that she just wants attention? Oh, goodness. All right, let's go ahead and end our last poll. Yeah, exactly. It really does take twats only 2 seconds on a good day, right? Yeah, so if they're allowed 10 seconds of touching, all the man needs is 2 seconds, 2 really good seconds. That's it. And he's done. Oh my God. Could be for money. Where would she get money? Oh, maybe like the news stories or something? I don't know. I think she might be going through a midlife crisis. What do you guys think? Is she going through a midlife crisis? Here, what's wrong with Lizzie Twats? I know I asked it last time. Let's see if we think the same thing. Still. What's wrong with Lizzie Twats? She's so crazy. She wants attention. She's mental, would be the other one. What is the other one? What else do we think? But she's not insane. Oh, yeah, I agree, Anders. Yeah, there must be something wrong with Lizzie, but she's not insane. So what is it? She's going through a midlife crisis? She's going through midlife crisis, okay. What else? Both? Who else? What else? She's crazy and psycho? Okay, and then she wants money, I guess. Yeah, we'll do, she wants money. So she either wants attention, she wants money, she's mental, or she's going through a midlife crisis. You guys let me know. A lot of women enjoy constant love bombing in prison relationships. Oh, yeah. Yes, they do. Yeah, and the psychology behind this is also very interesting. Because since these men are in prison, they can never get out. They also feel a certain, I don't know, maybe a little bit of control, right? They're able to have control over the relationship because they know that these men are never gonna, cheat on them. They're never gonna abuse them because they're in prison, right? And so they're able to be married and have this long-lasting relationship with a man that is basically under the control of the government. So, if anything, I think there is a benefit to that when it comes to these crazy women. I just think she's a cover up to keep NK out of court. Oh, interesting. Very interesting, Laura. I was asking that question. I think it's really weird that all of these stories are coming out just now, right? We've been talking about Nicole Kessinger, focusing on her involvement, and now all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, yeah, focus on this instead. Oh, Chris is getting married. Look at this. Oh, here, let's focus on Amanda McMahon." Why? Okay, guys. Oh, yeah, TK. Oh, you just had to watch 3 ads? Yeah, get ready for more ads, right? Here, I don't wanna talk I don't wanna get distracted or, sidetracked with how greedy YouTube is, but yes, they're greedy. YouTube's greed knows no bounds. Yeah, before you know it, you're gonna start seeing, like, 10 different ads in a 1-minute video because they're gonna try and push, premium light on consumers. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright, guys, let's continue.
I'm still trying to investigate that. God willing, I'll find the answer at some point. But yeah, so it's happening in real time, and I'm sure she's still going to continue seeing him because now she's his wife.
You were seeing pictures of Lizzie Henderson, the blushing bride, from our friends at Daily Mail.
I was in a really, really, really bad place. And I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook. And I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him. Except, well, one thing led to another. And 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado. And he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Oof. When I watch a lot of her videos, I wish I can go back in time and tell her, "No, girl, stay away from him." I mean, the irony, right? She says, "Oh, he's the best thing that ever happened to me." Oh my God.
That is Shanann Watts, pregnant with baby Nico at the time she was murdered and buried in a shallow grave not far from where her 2 daughters were disposed of in those oil canisters. Dr. Kendall Crowns, could you explain what is coffin birth?
So coffin birth is when
Oh God. Okay, here we go. The sensationalism. Here we go. They're going to talk about coffin birth again. Every single time. It happens all the time, doesn't it? They talk about coffin birth, the girls being stuffed into the oil tanks. It is just the most gruesome of details, and they just keep repeating it over and over again. Let's hear what this, quack has to say.
a pregnant individual decomposes and the gases that are formed by the bacteria of decomposition causing the body to swell and bloat up in the pregnant person, these gases begin to push on the uterus, and if it creates enough pressure, it actually forces the unborn fetus out of the birth canal along with the placenta. So coffin birth is a pregnant woman who is decomposed, and then the decomposition gas pushes the baby out.
Shanann had coffin birth there in that shallow grave at the Anadarko oil fields. Baby Nico was born, both of them dead, of course, when her body was discovered. So now we've got Lizzie Henderson under his spell. We had Shanann under his spell. And here is Amanda McMahon clearly under his spell.
Amanda McMahon? What about Nicole? Why are we not talking about Nicole effing Kessinger? They're talking about Amanda McMahon? Are we serious right now? Amanda McMahon?
Spell that is, I'm not sure, but listen.
He just kind of pulled in next to me and he rolled down the passenger window and
Morning,
I rolled down
bud. Hey, morning, bud. What's new, pretty lady? When can we eat tacos together? Come on. That sounds like a plan, she says. This could get out of hand. I like it. What? Okay, so we're expected to believe that this is a real relationship going on, right? She's texting him morning bud, and he says, "What's new, pretty lady?" Come on. When can we eat tacos together? That sounds like a plan. Huh? This could get out of hand. I like it. Why? Because you're gonna eat tacos together? What's gonna get out of hand? I don't understand. What about this is getting out of hand? Well, they're gonna stop by the Taco Bell and order some chalupa. Oh my god. The chalupas just do something to me. Amanda. Oh no, this is gonna get out of hand. Why? Because of the chalupas? Come on. NK had twats under her spell. Yeah, we aren't forgetting about her. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, V-Bug. Oh my god. NK's the reason we are not letting this case go. Yeah, exactly. NK talked to a murderer for 111 minutes the night of the murders, but we're going to talk about Chick-fil-A parking lot hookup. Right. Trail. 100%. This is so stupid. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to focus on this ridiculous story about Amanda McMahon meeting up with him at the Chick-fil-A.
of my window and he was like, come in, or like, unlocked. He's like, get in here or whatever. He was very sure, very forward, very sure of himself. He was able to turn on the charm for anything he needed.
From our friends at Daily Mail. Okay, I need help. A guy comes up, rolls down the window and says, get in, and you just jump in?
I mean, yeah, right? That's so true. What? Come on. You're just hanging out, sitting on the bench, and a guy drives by and they're like, "Hey, what's up, pretty lady? You want to go get some tacos? This is about to get out of hand." And you're just like, "How's it going, bud? Yeah, let me just go ahead and get in. All right, where are you going to take me? You're going to take me on a date? Where are we going? Burger King?" Come on. What, she just jumped in the car with this man? Wow.
Okay, to Dr. Geraldine Utter joining us, clinical psychologist specializing in psychological evaluations just like this, author of Mainlining Philly, Survival Hope Resisting Drug Addiction, author of Aftershock, How Past Events Shake Up Your Life Today, and producer and star of and she just jumps in like curb service, like at a Sonic. You pull up, you toot toot, and they bring you a hamburger like that.
Like that, exactly like that. So I think it's important to pay attention to what she said after that. She said he was very forward. She indicated that he was very assertive. And there's something that I kind of want to bring.
Okay, so we already know Amanda McMahon is lying. She said that Chris was assertive. I mean, come on. If we know anything about Chris, is that he's not assertive, right? If there's anything that we know 100% with certainty about Chris Watts, is that he is an introvert. He's quiet, he's shy, and he's an absolute moron, right? He's an idiot. So this idea that he was assertive, this is not Chris, right? Chris was never assertive. On the contrary, he's the opposite of assertive. He's passive.
Bring to everyone's attention, there's a psychological concept, Nancy, called the halo effect. And the halo effect has to do with what somebody looks like. So people who are perceived objectively as more attractive or handsome, they tend to, like, positive traits get associated or attached to them. Whereas somebody who's less attractive.
Wait, you think he's handsome, Dr. Geraldine? I think he looks like Satan.
See, Nancy is funny. Say what you will about Nancy, but man, she's funny. He looks like Satan. Yeah. a satanic potato.
They tend to, like, positive traits get associated or attached to them, whereas somebody who's less attractive,
Wait, you think
you
he's
can
handsome, Dr. Geraldine? I think he looks like Satan.
he looks like Satan to you, but there are people and women out there that find him attractive, and don't put me in that list because I'm with you, Nancy. I don't feel as though he's attractive at all. But
no. Did she say you toot toot at Sonic and they bring you a burger? Yes, she did. Boobs. Toot toot. They just bring you a burger. Right. You know, the last time I was at Sonic, no one brought me a burger. I had to go to the front and be like, "Hey, where's my burger?" They used to bring it to you, right? Didn't they? They used to roll it over. They were wearing roller skates, right? They used to like skate over and bring you your food. Yeah, that's no longer. You order food and then I don't know. You either get your food or you don't. Okay, guys. Question for you. Let's go ahead and end our last poll. I want to ask you guys a question about Chris Watts. I do want your honest opinion, you guys. Honest. Just honesty. Okay? And let's go ahead and go back to one of his photos. Oh, goodness gracious. It's just, Chris is so stupid looking. Let's just leave it here. Do you think Chris Watts is attractive? All right, that's the question. Without knowing that he's a killer, right? Which of course it's gonna be really hard to do because how are you gonna forget that he's a quadruple killer, a child and baby killer and woman killer? But do you think he's attractive? Let's just go ahead and pretend. Because she is right. She's right about how when it comes to people's looks and just their attraction level, a lot of these people tend to overlook what they did. We've seen that with so many other murderers, not just Chris Watts, but there's that other guy with all the tattoos on his face, and the other guy that ended up becoming a supermodel and he was a killer. What is up with that? Just because they're attractive doesn't mean that they're not also going to murder you, right? So to me, it's really strange that people just look at how they look and then they ignore everything else that they've done. It's so weird. All right, guys, do you think he's attractive? All right, and then yes, for some of you, sometimes I guess maybe. Yes, he's okay, I guess. And the other one is I don't know. Yeah, he's got dead eyes. Yeah, not attractive, right? He's got dead eyes. Okay. Has dead eyes. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the dead eyes. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and start this poll. You guys let me know. Do you think he's attractive? No, he looks like a potato. Yes, sometimes. Yeah, he's okay. No, he's stupid and has dead eyes. See, to me, it's not even about the physical attraction. The thing is, they also have to be intelligent. And if they're as stupid as Chris, no amount of good looks is gonna make me look past how stupid they are. But anyways, guys, you guys vote, and let's go ahead and continue.
But there's a concept called the halo effect, a psychological concept. And that concept has to do with people who are perceived as attractive. It's hard for you to associate bad things with them. So if you're attractive and you're good looking, then people can't, wrap around their heads that they could do something like this. They essentially get away with more, which is a perfect concept or quality to have if somebody perceives you as attractive, and to also be a sociopath, which is what Christopher Watts is.
Okay, so yeah, they deemed him a psychopath. So yeah, they're calling him a psychopath. See, I always thought he was a psychopath because I think that he has been displaying some of these traits ever since he was a child, right? He would lock himself in the bathroom beg for forgiveness. Cindy never even asked him, "Hey, son, why are you crying? Why are you begging for forgiveness in the bathroom?" No one intervened. No one asked him why he was begging for forgiveness. And he also had this tendency to lie, right? He lied to his teacher about going to China or Japan or something. I think it was China. And he said that he lied and he did it just because he knew he could get away with it. He found joy, I guess, or a thrill out of lying to people and then having them believe him. It is so crazy. I think that's psychopathic.
Daily Mail who broke this story. Ruth, what can you tell me about the prison visit?
So Nancy, I found this woman, she actually was visiting a loved one at the Dodge Correctional Facility where Chris is staying in for the rest of his life. And she was actually in shock because Chris was a few feet away from her. She was with her person, just having a snack. The next thing she knows, she turns around and sees Chris Watts with this woman. They were reading the Bible together. She was kind of having like a silent freak out, like turning around going, does anyone see what I'm seeing? This is Chris Watts. He killed his wife and unborn son and 2 little daughters. And she was kind of having like a moment, and she walked closer to him so she can see his name tag that said Chris Watts. And she told me that she so wanted to say to him, "You're my hero. Daddy's my hero." But obviously she knew she would get kicked out of the facility if she did. But she was thinking what we're all thinking. Why is he allowed to have this so-called girlfriend, now wife? And she was just as, agitated as we were, like thinking, how could this go on? And when I spoke to Lizzie on the phone, she basically she was very angry that I was actually trying to find her.
What?
She was angry that I was reaching out to family members. She did not want to be called. She doesn't want to be in the public eye. She basically was very defensive of being with Chris. And she was saying like it was between her, Chris, and God. And that, people could perceive their relationship as being very strange and weird. And Chris knows how she feels, but she said that, basically it's really no one's business. And
it's no one's business? This woman who's marrying quadruple killer is saying it's no one's business what we do. Are you serious? He murdered his whole family. Of course it's our business. My taxes are going to keeping a roof over this man's head. So yes, it is my business. It is all of our business. If you are here, right? If you are paying taxes to the IRS, know that it is your business because we're the ones feeding this monster. Our tax dollars are feeding him. Our tax dollars are putting a roof on this potato head's, over his head, right? Because of us, he has a place to sleep. So yes, it is our business. So crazy. This is so nuts. All of these prisoners and whatever they do and whatever rights they have, it is our business. I mean, come on.
She's kind of like an alternative universe, I feel like. She just is in denial with these heinous crimes that he committed. And she doesn't want to be in the public eye, and she's telling me she's a very private person. But meanwhile, she's with America's most hated person in the world.
Exactly.
Killer.
Exactly. Oh, I don't want to be in the public eye. I don't want anyone to know who I am. Yet she's going to marry Chris Watts, the most hated man on earth. I wouldn't even say America. I mean, it's so true. Everyone knows who this guy is outside of the United States. That is how vile and disgusting he is. That is how gruesome these crimes are, that everyone knows what he did. Wow.
Dad.
Ruth Bashinsky, I appreciate them reading the Bible together, but what about the makeout session? As Franz Borghardt says, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. It's called a conjugal visit, Borghardt. Is she the same one that saw that go down?
She saw, so when she was in the visiting room and she saw Chris Watts, she saw them. They're not allowed to have any physical touch during the actual visit. All they can really do is talk and hold the Bible and pray. But when it was time she arrived and when she left, they were literally hugging and making out and kissing. They were literally all over each other. And then they got to take a picture together.
What?
And, I don't know. He pays for it out of his commissary. It's like $1.25. And, she saw them. They were ahead of her holding each other for this prison photo. And of course, I was dying to see that prison photo. I'll never get to see it, I hope, but never say never. And yeah, she saw it with her own eyes and she was freaking out. And I'm so happy that she shared this story with me and I got to report on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A prison photo? Where is this prison photo? I want to see it. If he paid for it with his commissary money, I want to see it. We should all be able to see this photo. He is a prisoner. Okay, he's a prisoner, and our tax dollars are paying for everything that he's doing. So we have the right to see that photo. We have every right to see that photo because, again, we're the ones putting that ridiculous roof over his head. Why? This is so, oh my God. I get so angry. I get so angry. This pisses me off. Like, you guys, oh man, you have no idea how much this angers me.
Who knows? Maybe she'll be pregnant. Who knows?
We kind of connected or I guess bonded over the fact that we were both going through what he told me, separation from his, he called her like his baby mama, or like just like he never referred to her as his wife, like ever.
Oh, bullshit. Amanda. Oh, he called her his baby mama. He never really referred to her as her name. I don't even see Chris calling her his baby mama. That is not something that Chris would ever say. It's not even in his vocabulary to say baby mama. You know she's making it up.
I don't never remember him saying that. He took the angle that she was using the kids as a pawn for him and kind of just dangling him and making his life miserable about it. You'd call her a psycho and gold digging, just like any just shot that you could take. He took, like he said that her purpose in life was to make him miserable. At one point, I knew what it was when going into it, and he made it very clear.
Okay.
God, that lady. What's wrong with her?
From our friends at Daily Mail, let me understand that, what I'm saying right there to Ruth Bashinsky. There you saying, get in line, of his many mistresses, that's Amanda McMahon, stating, we connected and bonded over the fact we were going through what he told me, separation. You mean they're still married. That's what that means. He called her his baby mama. It's a good thing I don't have a gun, because if my husband ever called me that, there would be some shooting. Okay, he called her the baby mama. Okay, what else? He never referred to her as his wife.
Oh my God. What just happened? Did you guys see that? That shit's crazy. This poor woman. Did you guys see her face when Nancy Grace said that? That shit's crazy. She's like, oh no, don't say that. Wow. Nancy just said some wild ass shit on national television. And this lady's face, she cannot believe what she just heard. Let's go and listen to that again.
That's what that means. He called her his baby mama. It's a good thing I don't have a gun, because if my husband ever called me that, there would be some shooting. Okay, he called her the baby mama. Okay, what else? He never.
The lady's like, oh no, don't do that. Wow. See, Nancy doesn't have a filter sometimes. It's probably not something you should say, Nancy. That's why this lady's face is like, huh. No, please don't go shooting your husband. Oh man, Nancy doesn't care. Oh, fuck. That's crazy. It's crazy that she's saying these things and no one's stopping her. Let's hear it one more time. I just can't believe this.
It's Amanda McMahon stating, we connected and bonded over the fact we were going through what he told me, separation. You mean they're still married. That's what that means. He called her his baby mama.
Oh, man.
It's a good thing I don't have a gun, because if my husband ever called me that, there would be some shooting. Okay, he called her the baby mama. Okay, what else? He never referred.
I just can't. It's the lady's face that I just. It's this poor woman. She's like, oh my God. Oh, wow. This is so crazy. Let's continue.
Referred to her as his wife. He took the angle the children were a pawn, and he called her a psycho and a gold digger. She was the one working, having to travel out of town. She worked. She redecorated the whole home on a budget. She bought the clothes for the children. She took care of the children. She fed the children. He just showed up. What?
Yeah.
And he's calling her the gold digger?
It's not true, though. See, the thing is that, no, Chris wasn't calling her a gold digger. This is all just made up. This is what Amanda McMahon is saying, right? And she's making it up. She's lying. I don't see Chris calling her a gold digger, right? Calling Shanann a gold digger. If anything, I see Nicole Kessinger trying to put these ideas in Chris's head, right? Oh yeah, the reason that you're broke is because your wife is spending all of your money on all of these material things. But I don't think that Chris Watts was going around calling Shanann a gold digger. There's just no evidence of that. Chris himself has said that he didn't even think that they had financial issues until Nicole Kessinger. All of this is because of Nicole Kessinger. So I don't know why we're giving this any airtime. Amanda McMahon is a liar. She's a liar. Exactly. And there is no gold to dig. Elle Holt, yes. A truer statement has never been said. There is no gold to dig. What gold? Where is it? Chris had no gold. He barely even made any money.
Well, it shows you how twisted his mind was. I mean, you're not dealing with someone normal, clearly. I mean, when Amanda met Chris, they met on Tinder, and it just seems like he was, going through all these dating apps, and Amanda seemed like she was just part of his playbook. When they met at the Chick-fil-A, we reported on this, and they went in the car that had the tinted windows, and then they drove to her apartment, and they had, their sexual encounter.
Oh, please.
They were, playing a really strange movie in the background. I'm sure you'll get to that. Shutter Island. That movie was so eerie. It was about Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. It's about this marshal that kills his children first, and then he kills his wife. And Chris was the one who decided to choose that movie when he was alone with Amanda, having, very rough sex.
Oh, come on. This is not true. None of this is true. Can you imagine this guy having rough Twister? No, he looks like he cries after Twister. This man looks like he has a whole emotional breakdown after, just playing Twister for 2 seconds. He's like, oh my God, that's the best Twister of my life. He definitely looks like he cries after sex. 100%. This guy's a crybaby. There is no way that he's having rough anything. Oh, come on. Really? Imagine a little micro just breaks in half and he's like, oh my God, I need to go to the hospital. No, he would be crying. There's no way this man does anything rough.
That terrified her, basically.
Let me take that back. Maybe now in prison, right? Maybe in prison. That's probably why he goes through all of his commissary money, because he spends so much money on soap. He just keeps buying the same Dove soap, the really silky kind, the kind that just slips through your hands. He's like, whoop, 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 oh, there goes my soap again. I guess it's back to the commissary. Other than that, I don't see any rough Twister with Chris.
Basically, just like what went on in that bedroom, I just can't stop thinking about it, because I felt like he was enacting what he was eventually going to do with Shanann.
Yes, V-Bug, exactly. It takes longer for him to put on his Trojan micros than it does to do the deed. Yes, because to put his Trojan micros on, he needs to bring the tweezers, he needs the magnifying glass, he needs light, right? There's so many things that you have to prepare for him to put on his little Trojan micros. You can't just open it and then do the thing, right? You have to bring in the tweezers and the microscope and make sure that you got it just right? I mean, it takes like 10 minutes for him to just do that. Let's continue.
So, I mean, I can go on.
Like what?
She described it as, he put his hands around her neck. He was choking her. He went from normal to crazy. His eyes just completely changed. And that he basically had this animalistic fury in him. So, he like turned her around and wanted to do things to her that, so violating, like, they were pretty much on a first date,
Come on.
It's one thing that they got intimate, but how he was acting towards her was just completely so scary. I mean, it's hard to believe they continued with this 10-month relationship.
Because it's bullshit. This is not true. Animalistic? Chris? This guy? Potato Head? An animalistic? Come on. The only animal that I can see Chris being with is Sasquatch, right? And that's Nicole Kessinger. So other than going, I don't really see him making any other animal noises, right? I mean, what is he a wolf? No. Come on. He's a slug, maybe, but what kind of noise does a slug make? That?
That's what they did. She was going through a tough time with her ex and custody of their kids. He was lying to her every minute. She was also addicted to prescription drugs. They were both in. She was in a bad place. She wasn't thinking rationally. That's why she chose Chris.
Oh, come on. Oh, please. I'm not thinking rationally. That's why I chose Potato Head. Come on. Exactly, Viva. I agree. Yeah, it's like a surgical procedure. That's probably why Chris had, his little issues with his wrist. He had carpal tunnel. I don't think it's because he was trying to use tools at NASCAR. You get what I mean. Yeah, he probably had carpal tunnel for other reasons, right? Because he's having to use his pinky and his thumb to do other things. He's like, oh man. Oh no, where did it go? Yeah, it had nothing to do with using tools. I don't believe it.
But clearly he's a madman. I have no idea what Lizzie Henderson sees in him. And I'm just intrigued as the whole country.
When we met that first time in the parking lot, like I knew it was going to happen. The whole thing was just off. It was like, it was like a snap of a finger. Like things just kind of changed. Like he just got it's like something came over him and we went from normal to crazy, like brutal almost. He just didn't look the same in his eyes. It happened way too fast, and it threw me off. I wasn't scared like I was going to die. I was scared like he was going to hurt me, like not intentionally. We only ever had sex like maybe 2 other times. I would always, he definitely hit me up a lot more. For that, we hung out a few more times without the physical stuff. He was extremely rough, and
so
he
full
didn't
of
really
shit.
ask permission. And
This lady is so full of shit. This Amanda McMahon woman. Oh, wow. Everything she's saying is such bullshit. Oh, his eyes turned black. What? Oh, from one second to another, he just became a whole different person. No, I don't believe that. Not at all. Do any of you guys believe Amanda McMahon? She's lying. Why would they waste time talking to her? Exactly, Samantha. Such a good question. I don't know why they're wasting time talking to her. I thought it was weird that he got carpal tunnel in less than 10 years. I had surgery on both wrists, but after 25 plus years. Yeah, exactly, Nancy. Yeah, he got carpal tunnel in less than 10 years, and he was so young. He was like in his 20s when he supposedly got carpal tunnel. All right, guys, let's go ahead and end this poll. I want to ask you guys another question. Do you believe this woman? Do you believe Amanda McMahon? Wow, I think she's such a liar. Okay, so no, yes. Right, the other one's just gonna be straight up just yes, I guess. No, she's clearly lying. Yes, you believe her. Yes, they met. Okay, and then the other one's gonna be yes, they may have met, but they never actually played Twister. But never played Twister. And then the other one's gonna be, let's see. What should the other one be? No inclination. All right, guys. Let's start this poll. All right, do you believe Amanda? No, she's clearly lying. Yes, you do believe her. Yes, you believe that they met, but they never actually played Twister, right? So kind of similar to Trent Bolt, right? They may have been talking on Tinder or whatever, but they never actually played Twister. And then no inclination. All right, guys, let's continue.
He choked me. I'm pretty aggressive. It's really awkward for me to talk about all this. He had his hand on my neck and probably a few minutes in, and that's when it kind of turned a little crazy. So he had put his hand on my throat, and I get a little freaked out anyway. And we just kind of had this like animalistic fury.
Animalistic fury.
It was just hard. It was rough, and he just went into his zone. He just didn't look the same in his eyes. He took me by the neck, and he grabbed me from underneath. He pulled me up, and then he like turned me down, and it was very, very uncomfortable. It was weird.
That's from our friends at Daily Mail and the Trial USA. Well, the new prison bride, the mysterious Lizzie Henderson, is not the first woman to fall for and marry a convicted killer.
Until death do us part. A forever promise to have and to hold. But what if you can't hold them? What if they're behind bars for murder? Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, the Menendez brothers, Chris Watts, they all found love in lockup. As a victim of violent crime myself, these murder matchups behind bars are very hard for me to understand. Why do women marry men who murder? Why, with all the men in the world, would anyone ever marry a murderer?
It feels wonderful. I'm so happy. I'm so thrilled, very proud, and a little relieved that the bulk of the day is over, and just hopefully I can enjoy the rest of my day in peace with Richard's family.
Who's this lady?
And think about the importance of what happened today.
Who is that lady?
That from our friends at Fox Nation, marrying a murderer, and from Hard Copy. That was Doreen Loy, Richard Ramirez's wife. But there's more.
What?
Have you ever found somebody that you kind of feel like kind of saved you when you lost yourself? I almost feel like he's like my lighthouse. He guided me back to where I really needed to be.
Gonzalez admits he takes the butt of a gun and beats Thornburg repeatedly in the head, bashing his skull in and leaving him on the floor to bleed out and die.
Oh, wow.
Gonzalez confessed, and he pled guilty. In court, under oath, he pleads guilty to a brutal murder.
But it didn't matter to his prison bride, and we see it played out again now with killer dad Chris Watts. That's from our friends at Fox Nation. And you were hearing Kathy Gonzalez, Tattoo Gonzalez's wife. Joining us now is a special guest, Sherilyn Cadle, the author of The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year update. God. Sherilyn, thank you for being with us tonight.
She always has Sherilyn Cadle on, doesn't she? Every single time that they talk about Chris, they always bring on Sherilyn Cadle. Oh, hello, Sherilyn Cadle. Tell us some more about this story. Sherilyn Cadle. Hey, Sherilyn Cadle. How are you, Sherilyn Cadle? Do you know more about Chris, Sherilyn Cadle? Oh, come on.
What's your take on the new prison bride?
Well, I'm not surprised. Back in early 24, she messaged me and told me that she was kind of with him and wanted to know what I thought.
Kind of?
And I told her what I thought, and she ended up cussing me out and telling me I was so totally wrong. Well, at the very beginning, when I asked him about her, he denied knowing her. And when I told her that, she got really angry. And I didn't know for sure because there's a lot of women that have messaged me and said that they are getting letters from him, and they're very sad. They felt, this romantic tie to him. So I don't know about Lizzie here. She's not going to be the only one. I hope she realizes that.
Oh, well,
but a question that I have, Nancy, is, are those Shanann's wedding rings that Lizzie is wearing?
Oh, dear Lord in heaven.
Oh, come on, really? I don't think so. That is... Who's coming up with this? Is this Sherilyn Cadle's bullshit? Is she the one coming up with this story now? Oh, are those... No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I really think that the only thing that they can afford are those ring pops, right? That candy you put on the ring, and you're like, That's the only thing that he can probably afford from the commissary. I don't know where she got these rings. Last time we did a poll, and I think we decided that she pawned it, right? Or she got it from a pawn shop. So she pawned some of Nicole Kessinger's batteries so that she can get herself a ring from the pawn shop. Who knows where she got it from, but I don't think that these are Shanann's rings. Not at all. What do you guys think? Nancy doesn't know anything about the case. She thought Shanann worked and supported the family. Yeah, well, Well, Shanann did work. So there's that. She did work and she did support the family. So, I mean, that is true. I do agree that she doesn't know the rest of the case, but yeah, what was stated, though, is true. All right, guys, let's continue.
Okay, Ruth Bashinsky. These are shots from the Daily Mail, and with us is Ruth Bashinsky, who broke the story, the investigative crime reporter at Daily Mail. Is he using his dead wife's wedding band and rings with Lizzie
You know what,
Henderson?
Nancy? Liz, that is literally the first thing that went through my mind. I'm like, that has got to be Shanann's rings. I mean, where would he get them? But we are looking into that right now, Nancy, because I need to find out where those rings came from. I doubt they came from. I don't know where they're from, but it seems like it could be
Put her
Shanann's.
up. Bashinsky. Ruth. I guarantee you this. He did not get them at the prison commissary.
I believe you, Nancy.
Well, yeah.
What, if any, financial gain could there possibly be to marry Chris Watts, a family annihilator, a guy that's had a string of affairs behind his wife's back? Let's thinky.
According to content creator Plunder, please go over, subscribe to her channel, give her credit where it's due. Lizzie filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy before moving from Ohio to Wisconsin. Why do I bring this up? And why does Plunder bring it up as well? I mean, we're not here to air dirty laundry. Like I said, a lot of us have known about Lizzie for 2 years and have said nothing.
What?
Because we care about this woman's genuine safety. It's not about going after her because she's with Chris Watts. We're here to be like, honey, we want you to find Jesus and get away from Chris Watts. But anyway, I digress. So the reason we bring up the Chapter 7 bankruptcy is it would show motive.
Okay. The question is, how is she supposed to make money, though, from this? Yeah, if she filed for bankruptcy, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to all of a sudden make a lot of money just by dating Chris. I mean, it's not going to get her out of bankruptcy, right? I mean, this is ridiculous. Where would she make money from? I mean, come on. What do you guys think? Just addressing the rumors. Right. I thought the Rusaks had all of Shanann's estates, including her engagement set. Yeah, I really don't think that those are Shanann's rings, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think it's Shanann's rings? I don't think it is. Definitely not. Yeah, what do you guys think? Not unless she sells that picture she took with Chris Watts. Oh, hey, that's a really good point. Miranda, I see that. Oh, man. Right, yeah. Right. Well, yes, sure. She worked for an MLM and she wasn't making money, but she was working, right? Like yeah, the statement that was made that Shanann wasn't working was incorrect because she was working. Even if she was working for an MLM, which didn't make any money, the fact still remains that she was working. Yeah, it's not Shanann's ring, right? Okay, guys. Yeah, see, Shanann wouldn't allow that. Shanann's mom wouldn't allow that. Yeah, exactly. Not to admit to pawn it, man, because something said prior. I will find it. Okay. Yeah, they're both broke. That looks like a fancy, if not diamond. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, she could make money from book deals or appearances. I see that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, guys. That makes a lot of sense. All right, let's go ahead and end this last poll. And let's go ahead and start another one. I do see her making money from selling things, right? Selling the relationship, selling photos. See, I didn't think about this before. Okay, let's go ahead and ask this question. Okay, so if she is in it for the money, how is she going to be making this money? Okay, how is she making the money? All right, let's go ahead and see this. If she's in it for the money, how's she making it? Okay, so yeah, I see it. Yeah, selling photos. Yeah, selling photos, news interviews, right? Yeah, interviews, book deals, books. Okay. Yep. Newspapers, right. His social security if something happens to Twats. Social security? Wait, what? Wait, prisoners still get social security? Ugh, what in the world? Okay, what is the other one, right? What how else could she be making money? Let's see. Selling what else? What do we think she's doing? All right, what else? What else? How could she get rings or how would Chris have it? Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah. A prison wedding planner? Right. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. She is a. Okay. Yeah. What else? What else? How else could she be making money? I can't. Let's see. So she's selling interviews. She's selling book deals, photos, stuff like that. Wedding planner at the Courtyard Inn. She's peeling potatoes. I mean, she does work at the grocery store, doesn't she? So what if she has like I don't know, a contract, right? What if she's a private contractor with the prison system as a grocery bagger? Right? That's what she does. She bags groceries at the local grocery store. Oh man, okay. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and start this poll. All right, let's go ahead and start this poll. Okay, if she's in it for the money, how is she making money? Selling photos, interviews, and books, selling commissary snacks, prison wedding planner, or bagging snacks at the commissary? What do you guys think? Yeah. Yeah, selling photos, interviews, and books. Okay. Wow. Being bankrupt will make you this thirsty to marry Chris Twats? All right, guys, let's continue.
As to why would you marry Chris Watts?
Yeah, exactly. Why Chris Twats of all people?
Of Christopher Watts and the Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year update. Sherilyn, isn't it true that Christopher Watts stated at some point during the investigation he took Shanann's rings off her finger and set them on the bedside table?
Yes, and I do believe that his mother ended up with him for him. He has very few things that they were able to keep, but the wedding rings I will be so shocked that those are not the wedding rings that Shanann wore.
Okay, Dr. Geraldine Utter, what does that mean? Who wants to wear a murdered woman's wedding rings and band? This has got to mean something psychologically. But I'm just a trial lawyer. So what does it mean?
If we assume that that's even true, I mean, with my experience working with incarcerated individuals and people who love them, a lot of the times the women who get married, to men who are incarcerated or partners who are incarcerated are actually out there buying their own rings on their own dime. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if she purchased them herself. But I think the bigger issue here is, and what people are like, I don't understand how a person can do this. How can a woman do this? He's an annihilator. He's a sociopath. But this is one thing psychologically that you want to pay attention to. A lot of women aren't. This woman in particular, Lizzie, is not seeing the Chris that killed his family. Yes, intellectually, she has received that information and she knows. But what she's saying and what her own psyche is doing is she's thinking, well, I can get to the good man underneath. Like, I know that there's a good guy there. And I'm the one, Lizzie, I'm the one who has helped bring that out. And, this relationship's going to be different. Another thing that is really important to understand is regardless if you're getting conjugal visits or you're getting a little sexy or intimacy or whatever you want to call it with someone in prison, the other thing that you want to remember is it does not test what happens in the real world. He will never be able to do to Lizzie what he did to Amanda and obviously what he did to Shanann. So
they keep bringing up Amanda. Stop bringing up Amanda. Nicole. Oh, God. This is so infuriating. Amanda? No, he didn't do anything to that lady because she's lying. Nicole Kessinger, right? She's the one who did a lot. Yeah, of course. I do agree with what she's saying. The thing is, Chris is never going to be able to strangle Lizzie the way that he strangled Shanann because he's in prison. So I do understand the psychology with a lot of these women that, yeah, they're going to marry a man who's behind bars because they're never going to be able to harm them in the same way that he harmed his family. So yeah, I definitely understand that. I just don't understand why they keep bringing up Amanda. It is just, God, they're not calling out NK, guys. Isn't that nuts? They're leaving Nicole Kessinger out of this, which is absurd because if there's anyone who was involved, it was Nicole Kessinger. The only evidence that we have of Chris being with someone is Nicole. Yet they're not even mentioning Nicole. Not once. They haven't mentioned her not once. This is nuts. Who is behind this?
Him, that dark, the eyes getting dark and having like sex with her and it being rough, it'll never get like that with her. So for Lizzie, it affords her the opportunity to continue living in this fantasy world that isn't representative of the real Chris.
Very true.
When people say, how can a woman be like that? It's because they're getting a version, not the murderer version. They're getting a different version of this person, and they'll never get close to Chris Watts, the murderer.
Right.
She'll never see that the way that other people in the outside world have.
I don't think that Ted belongs in jail. The things in Florida don't concern me any more than the things out west do. And those are the things.
You think these are trumped up charges?
I don't think they had reason to charge Ted Bundy with murder in either Leon County or Columbia County.
Are you in love?
Yeah.
What?
The paperwork hasn't gone through yet, but we already consider each other to be husband and wife.
Oh, this girl, she's so crazy. Ugh. He's like 150 years old. So let's, ignoring the fact that he is a psycho, right? He's a psycho. He's also 150 and she's marrying him. Clearly, this lady has issues. She has issues. This is Charles Manson. This is Charles Manson. He was 158 in this photo, and this lady is what, like 28? So she's marrying a mummy, right? He's an ancient artifact, but she's marrying him. Oh, I'm in love. How are you in love? Girl, go get yourself a therapist. You need psychotherapy. That's what you need. You don't need to be marrying a 158-year-old man. Come on.
People think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm. I really don't care.
There are many who would look at Richard Ramirez in the eye and say, he is the face of evil. Mm-hmm. And yet you look at him and you see the man of your dreams. Yes. Who needs glasses here?
The man of her dreams is Richard Ramirez. He's so sadistic. Richard Ramirez is one of the grossest serial killers I've ever read about. I mean, there's so many, but he's one of the most disgusting. He harmed children. He abused them. He would break into people's homes and assault women and children and then murder them violently. And come on, look at this lady. She is obviously very clearly delusional. I mean, she obviously has some kind of mental illness.
I can't help the way the world looks at him. They don't know him the way I do.
Okay, just a quick roundup. The first woman you saw is Carol Ann Boone.
Wow.
Ted Bundy's wife. The next is from our friends at CNN. That's Afton Starr, Elaine Burton, Charles Manson's fiance. And the last one you saw is Doreen Loy, Richard Ramirez's wife.
Wow.
Okay, I'd like to just say, what is wrong with them? But they seem normal. To Franz Borchardt joining us, veteran trial lawyer.
They're clearly not normal, though. Yeah, that's why I'm asking, what is wrong with them? They're clearly not normal if they're marrying these vile men.
Out of the Baton Rouge jurisdiction. Could this be a ploy to dig herself out of a bankruptcy? Is that why she's with Chris Watts?
Ooh,
or attention-seeking behavior, because she's got a platform now. We're talking about her. We're on national TV, no less. So it could be that. Wisconsin
Very
has a
true.
son of Sam law where he can't profit off of his crime. I don't know that it extends to her, Nancy. So can she profit off of her story? Yeah, I think that she can profit off of the relationship.
Yes, that's an excellent point, Franz. To Cheryl and Cadel joining us.
That is so true. She can. Oh my God. Is she doing this for money? She's trying to get out of her bankruptcy? That is nuts. Holy shit. You're going to marry Chris Twats to get out of bankruptcy.
Author of The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year update. You worked with him extensively creating those 2 books. Is he that charming that he could literally charm the pants off this woman?
He's not charming at all, though. See, that's the thing. Chris is not at all charming. Nothing about that man is charming. He's very, very introverted and passive. He doesn't even look people in the eye. How is he charming? For him to be charming, you know, I understand why Ted Bundy was able to murder as many women as he did, because he was charming and he was very intelligent, very smart guy. And so, yeah, he was able to use his charm and his intelligence to find victims. But Chris Twats, the potato with the spinning eyeball, how's he charming?
Not to me, he's not, but I can see why some women who maybe have a need for the extra affection or attention, or maybe something happened in their, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I'm not able to say exactly what happened, but why she would want someone like that, it's got to be attention seeking, like they've said, or that she's had something
Hey,
in
look
her
at your
past
screen,
happen to
Sherilyn.
her.
Look at your monitor.
Yes.
That's a sheet that Shanann
Yes.
was wrapped in.
She had the baby in that sheet.
The dirt, the blood, that's where she gave birth to baby Nico.
Oh my God.
And then he just shoveled the dirt on her face.
Ugh.
And somehow he's still getting women, even behind bars, a prison bride.
Yeah.
Just a quick reality check to Dr. Kendall Crowns, esteemed lecturer at the Burnett School of Medicine at TCU and a renowned medical examiner. Dr. Kendall Crowns, could you just remind us what happened to Shanann?
So Shanann had injuries of her neck that were consistent with a manual strangulation, hemorrhages in her neck musculature. So she was strangled until she passed out, and then her husband continued to strangle her for another 3 to 4 minutes until she was dead. Once she was dead, she was then buried in a shallow grave where she decomposed over time, her body's changing green discoloration, skin slipping off, filling up with decompositional gases that then created the pressure that resulted in the coffin birth, or the baby Nico being expelled out of the vaginal canal. So she died a fairly brutal death because it's a manual strangulation. So she probably fought back and was just strangled until she was dead.
She probably fought back, is what he said. Says the guy that knows nothing about this case. The man who is just being asked to just say a bunch of crap on national television. Oh yeah, she probably fought back. I don't really know. I'm just getting paid to sit here and just say a bunch of shit. I don't know. Yeah, something about gases. Yeah, coffin birth. That is all they talk about on this thing, right? Every time Nancy Grace is on and she has this guy, that is all he ever says. He just repeats himself and a lot of probablys and, oh, I assume this is probably what happened. Oh my God. He knows nothing about the case.
So she probably fought back and was just strangled until she was dead.
And then what happened? I looked at her and I just got on top of her, and you on top of Shanann did the same thing. Okay. Did you have to knock her down? No. She was already on the ground? I just pulled her off on the bed. And, kind of one movement. Yeah. Okay. So it's not as though you pulled her off. No, like I went up, pulled her down, and I did that. I didn't know. I lost it. Sure. Okay.
So Shanann was laying on the ground?
On the bed.
On the bed.
The papers are gone. And I put my hands around my wife's neck and did that same thing.
Oh my God.
Did Shanann fight back at all when you did that?
The rage that I had after seeing that, like, not much. Are they in the tanks? Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, it's easy to open.
What's in the tanks?
It's a mixture of oil and water.
That's a good question. Can somebody who doesn't have any experience with these open that? See, the answer is yes. Anybody can open those tanks. I mean, it takes, I'm sure it takes some, pressure to be able to lift that lid open, but yeah, anybody can open it. He knew how to work those tanks. So for him, I think it was very, very easy to get there that morning and climb up to the very top and then put his daughters in there. But yeah, anybody can go up there and kind of look at the lid and figure out how to open it.
There was a sheet found down here?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that from?
That was what Chanel was wrapped in.
What about the girls? What were they wrapped in? Just in the pajamas? Not with their blankets or anything?
Ugh.
Where did their blankets and toys and stuff go?
Probably blew away in the wind or something right here.
Where did you set them or put them?
It was right here.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is it over? It's almost over, I think. Okay, it's almost over, guys. Yeah, a lot of the show, again, right? We have to listen to it because anytime that Nancy Grace talks about this case, there's a bunch of sensationalism and also just calling out all of the bullshit. So we always have to watch it.
3-year-old Celeste, all dead, and he, their killer, has a new prison bride and steamy makeout sessions.
Mm-hmm.
We wait as justice unfolds. And now we remember an American hero, Lieutenant John Stewart Lakes.
Well, there is it. That's it. I think that's it, right? Yep, that's the end of it. Yeah, because look, she changed her shirt. She went from wearing that to being like, and now I'm in Hawaii. If you want a trip to Honolulu, check out the bottom here. Go ahead and click. And the code is going to be Nancy Grace. Get your trip to Honolulu now. Yeah, let's go ahead and just end this part. Wow. What do you guys think? A lot of weird stuff, right? It bounced around. It went from talking about the case, then talking about the coffin birth. Every single time that she talks about this case, she brings up the coffin birth. She also brings up how gruesome the girls and being found in those tanks were. And she also threw in Amanda McMahon, which I don't know why she threw in Amanda McMahon, but Nicole Kessinger, not a single mention of Nicole Kessinger. Interesting, right? What do we think about this, you guys? I think it's so weird. A lot of the things that are coming out right now are focused on McMahon, Trent Bolt, and this Lizzie lady. But it looks like, again, right? I can't prove it, but it does look like there is this movement where people are kind of just starting to forget about Nicole Kessinger or not really focusing on how Nicole Kessinger was involved in this. She was the only mistress that we know of that was actually with Chris. All the evidence points to Nicole Kessinger being the only mistress that Chris had, yet we're seeing a lot about McMahon. So I find this very suspicious. But you guys let me know. They're not married. Okay, so they're not married yet. I'm not a Nancy Grace fan whatsoever. She has a lot of people on the show that they have no clue what they're talking about, and half of the time she doesn't either. Yeah, I agree, Alexia. Yeah, I never liked Nancy Grace. Yeah, Maggie. Yeah, see, a lot of the things, and like I said, she doesn't really know the case all that well, but we definitely have to watch what she's saying, right? Because, as people who are stuck on Watts Island, we know what's going on with this case. We've been following it for so long now. And so anytime that Nancy Grace comes on and she brings one of her little friends on and they start talking, we have to call everything out. And so, yeah, we have to fact check all this stuff. So thank you guys so much for letting me know about this. Yeah, so many of you guys let me know that Nancy Grace had released this new video, and I was like, oh, no way. She releases a new video every like 2 or 3 months on Chris Watts. And again, it's always the same thing, right? It's always about the coffin birth and everything, all the gruesome details, which is just like, why? Why are we talking about that? But anyway. Yeah, Nancy Grace is all sensationalism. All right, guys. Okay, where are we at with our poll? Let's go ahead and see. Oh, look, 75 votes. If she's in it for the money, how is she making the money? 92% say that she's selling photos, interviews, and books. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. If this woman, where is she? Here, let's go ahead and find her. Let's find her face. Where is she? Lizzie. Ms. Lizzie Twats. Where did she go? Here she is. Where is she? There she is. Okay, Lizzie Twats. Okay, so let's just talk about her for a few seconds before we end the stream here. Okay, so if she is making money, we have to kind of be on the lookout for any photo that she sells, any interviews that she's about to have, and any book deals that she might be trying to sign, right? Because if she's really doing this for the money, then we are going to see here pretty soon that she's going to be selling stuff. So if it's not that, though, what else could it be? Is she insane? Is she lonely? Is she isolated? Is she what is going on with her? As we know, she also has a sick mother, right? She is it her mom that she brought over from Ohio? So it could just be a bunch of, a bunch of things, right? It could be a combination of things going on with her. But I think most people think that she is in it for the money, right? Or some attention or something. Someone could be paying her to get in there and get close to Chris and find out more evidence. Oh, Jerry. Huh. That's very interesting. I also do hope that she's able to get the truth out of Chris. I know it's wishful thinking, but a part of me hopes that this is a real relationship and that she is jealous of Nicole Kessinger and that she convinces Chris to throw her under the bus. Again, is it going to happen? Probably not, but I can only hope, right? I can only hope. Look at her gaze. I think she's going to play it cool for a while to earn more of Chris Watts' trust. And then when he least expects it, boom. You think so? Oh, man. So what? We're going to give her another year? Another year or two? Okay. Yeah, what do we think? Yeah, if in a year or two we see a book written by Lizzie Twats, we have to read it. Oh, we got to read it. Imagine they marry, she has to stay there with him. Oh, they would not last. I agree, Teresa. Wow. They would also fund the money for the ring. Wow. This is so crazy. I still can't believe that Chris is married or getting married or that he even, I mean, what is it? Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. But didn't she's the one who, what is it? Oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? She applied. There we go. She applied for a marriage certificate, right? It was her. She's the one who applied for it. I can't believe that they were even allowed to apply for this. Book club? Yes. Yes, if she writes a book, we should definitely do a book club. Yeah, let's all read it together. Yeah. Yeah, Lizzie just wants attention and money. Was it his boyfriend? What, his boyfriend's is jealous? Wait, whose boyfriend? Chris's? Oh man. NK's cousin. Yeah, she can't be with him physically. So for her, it's an easy thing. Write a book. Yeah, she absolutely has no real interaction with him. Yes, kind of evil. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think she's definitely in it for something, right? Okay. All right, guys. Okay, well, that was it, you guys. Before we go, I do want to, let's see. I want to show just a few things from the community page. Let's go ahead and see this. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, before we go, I just wanted to show you guys just a few things from our community page. Yes, so for all you guys who have found the community page, I just want to show you all a few of these funny memes. So, Angela, thank you so much for the granny meme. See, look at this one. I am Granny K and my granddaughter summoned me. See, a lot of these, you guys, I just crack up. You guys give me so many ideas when it comes to just the animations. And yeah, look at this one. Jessica, hips, lips, and dipshits, right? Yeah, see, these are all ideas for merchandise, guys. So if you guys have any ideas for merchandise, go ahead and drop it in the community page, right? We found Granny K. Look at this. Leave Jim and his beard alone. Leave Granny alone. And then we also have, look at this, right? Bearded Adonis and Sasquatch. Right. We also had Smart Survival also met with the real life Nicole Kessinger. Did you ask for did you ask for an interview or anything? And if you did, please tell her to give me a call. I would love to interview her. There's also here, my goodness, look at this, you guys. Wow. This one was also pretty funny. Guys, this was me today when I had to exit the chat. This one made me laugh, you guys. Oh, Jessica. That's what Jessica looks like having to leave the chat. This is the one I wanted to show you all, okay? Because for those of you who are still wondering whether Chris, either played both teams, what do you guys think? See, I see this actually happening, you guys. I really do. And for those of you who are wondering, it is true that Dylan Tallman had boxers of Chris and also Vaseline in his cell. So, again, I think it's very realistic. And honestly, I think they make kind of a cute couple. What do you guys think? Do they make a cute couple? Do you guys think they make a cute couple? Here, I'm going to ask you guys. This is going to be part of the poll. Do you think Chris Watts and Trent make a cute couple? Yes, this one. Thank you, Boops. Thank you for this one. This one made me laugh so hard. I can't remember what I was doing, but I laughed so hard. I was cracking up. Yes, no. Need more evidence. Oh man, you guys. Do you think Chris and Trent make a cute couple? Need more evidence. Who needs more evidence? Twats looks like his dad. Oh my god. What? Oh man. Yeah, you guys, there's so many funny things in here. So if you do have some funny ones, guys, please go ahead and drop them in here. There's also the one here. Oh man, where's the other one? Oh, that looks really good though. Oh man. There's another one I wanted to show you all. Where did it go? Oh, it's this one. If you guys haven't seen this one. Right. This is Lizzie's new job. She's going to be bagging all of the Lays at the commissary. All right. But here, let's go back to the previous photo. Right here. What do we think, guys? Yeah? Look at this. Wow, 47% say yes. They do make a cute couple. See, I see it. I do see it. Do you guys see it or no? Yeah, Short King. Yeah. She can apply for all the marriage licenses all over, but the warden has the final approval. Chris looks like he got poked. Trent is nasty. Oh man. Oh really? You said need more evidence? Twats looks like an old man. It's gross. Oh God. He kind of does, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks like a sugar daddy. Oh, gross. Oh, man. All right, guys. We have 40 votes in. Any last minute votes? Yeah. Do more of you need a little more evidence? If you guys have more evidence, go ahead and send it over. Go ahead and put it in the community page. Why do they look like Hucklebuck? What? Nevia. He does, right? He kind of does. He looks like a sugar daddy, doesn't he? That's even grosser. Oh man. All right, guys. Twats is a pimp. Put Jim instead. Oh man. Tiger, that is such a good idea. Yes, guys, if you guys have any photos of Chris Watts and Jim, please go ahead and post them. Go ahead and post them. All right, guys. Okay, and I do just want to thank anybody who helped support the channel. You guys are so funny. Okay, Angela, thank you so much. Angela and Marco, thank you so much. Tiger, Angela, Soily Blue, Shares too, but thank you so much. Soily Blue and Julie, thank you guys so much for the jewels. Thank you guys. Yes, he is a sugar daddy. Put Jim instead. Personally, I think Trent is a grifter sent by NK. Yes. All right, guys, let's go ahead and end this poll. All right. I don't know why these things are taking forever. Oh man. Okay, there we go. Look at this. 52% of you said yes, that they do make a cute couple. 28 said no, and 20 need more evidence. Okay. Yeah, guys, if any of you have more evidence, go ahead and post it. I love to see those. And I love to see the community laugh at these idiots. Chris Watts, Nicole Kessinger, and any other of these people that are just lying for attention. Oh man. We need Beer Belly, Adonis, and Twats. It will help us examine how Twister Night went down. Yes, guys, we need a visual. If anybody can come up with a visual, please. Of course, keeping it PG, right? Let's go ahead and keep it PG because it is still YouTube and things need to be censored, right? YouTube censorship still kind of keeps things a little PG here. No, Twats looks old enough to be his dad. He does, doesn't he? Here, let's go back to the photo real quick. He does. Oh, he does. Oh, I didn't see it until now. Oh, he looks really old. Why does he look like that? I didn't notice that until now. Huh. That's interesting. He looks really old compared to Trent. Wow. But anyways, guys. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining today's live stream. Thank you so much for sending that Nancy Grace video over. And I'm so glad that we were able to do this and call out all of the BS. Again, I don't believe that Amanda McMahon was in any way, shape, or form involved with Chris. And neither do I believe that he was involved with Trent, although I do believe that he may have spoken to Trent via Grinder or Tinder or something, but I don't think that they actually met up. But other than that, everything else that was discussed with Nancy Grace was just a load of BS, right? Just sensationalism, as always. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Monday. And yes, be on the lookout for a new video. I am editing a new video. It is taking a while because it is one of a longer video, and I'm doing the crazy Rabbit Hole Rocks edits. So be on the lookout for that. I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of my moderators. Thank you so much for moderating the chat today. And thank you so much to my members, and thank you to my subscribers. If you like this live stream and you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It is free. And of course, like, share, comment, hype, all that good stuff to get the video out there. Thank you guys so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.